a missing guitar, a chimp named Shemp, and Disney's hard pass on incest. Here's 10 Back to the Future behind-the-scenes facts that changed everything. Back to the Future is one of the most iconic movies ever, not just from the 80s, but ever. And it exists because Bob Gale found his dad's high school yearbook one day and had that thought, would I have even liked my dad if we were the same age? Would we hang? And boom, suddenly you've got a time travel movie that just isn't about sci-fi nerd math. It's therapy with a DeLorean. And Hollywood's response to this insanely perfect idea? Oh, that's nice. Pass. Yeah, the movie got rejected. Like, a lot. Over 40 times.
Great Scott!
And the reason why? So peak 80s. Studios thought it was too sweet, too nice, not raunchy enough. Because the era was basically like, can it be louder, grosser, and set in a high school locker room? And Gale and Zemeckis were like, no, it's a smart crowd pleaser about family and identity. And Hollywood goes, ew, feelings. Now, on the flip side of that, in walks Disney, who took one look at the whole Lorraine-Marty dynamic and went, yeah, this is like incest. Hard pass.
It's like I'm kissing my brother.
Now let's talk about one of the most infamous studio notes in movie history. Universal's head, Sid Sheinberg, wanted to rename Back to the Future to Men from Pluto. That sounds like a cereal mascot or a Saturday morning cartoon where the alien teaches you not to do drugs. But some studio notes were actually good, made the movie better. Sid Sheinberg also pushed for changes like Marty's mom, originally called Meg, became Lorraine. And the meaning behind that was his wife's name was Lorraine. Doc Brown wasn't Doc Brown. It was Professor Brown. And, well, that sounds like a guy who sells you a calculator. But Doc Brown sounds like a dude who absolutely has plutonium and isn't sorry about it. Speaking of Doc Brown, his pet, Einstein the dog, wasn't going to be a dog or Einstein. It was going to be a chimp named Shemp. And the studio killed it for, well, the most practical, unglamorous reason. Chimp equals scheduling nightmare, safety nightmare, and continuity nightmare. Dog equals aw and instantly relatable, plus less likely to throw poop at you. And we all know the famous recasting story, right? Marty McFly was originally played by Eric Stoltz, then changed over to Michael J. Fox. But did you know Jennifer Parker, Marty McFly's girlfriend, was also recast, originally played by Melora Hardin. And after they switched to Michael J. Fox, she got recast largely because she was taller than Michael J. Fox. And the story gets even more, what even is this job? Fox has described Zemeckis basically asking women on the crew of the movie what they thought about Marty being shorter than his girlfriend. And that feedback helped drive the decision to recast her. So yeah, the crew basically weighed in and Claudia Wells ended up being his Jennifer in the first film. Time travel logic.
This is what makes time travel possible.
Flexible. Hollywood height logic. Non-negotiable. And Biff's last name Tannen? Ooh, that's a real inside Hollywood jab. The name is widely credited as coming from an unpleasant encounter with studio executive Ned Tannen. Everyone knows this scene, right?
Way down in Louisiana, down in New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the
Zemeckis nearly cut the Johnny B. Good scene because he worried it slowed the pace and didn't advance the plot. And then test audience saw it and were like, nah, this stays like forever. Which is the correct response because the scene isn't about the plot. It's just pure cinematic joy.
Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet.
The original ending, much darker and way bigger. The early versions of the ending involved a nuclear test site powering time travel, with the famous fridge concept tied to those earlier drafts, which is a vibe Like, hey kids, hop in this household appliance and drive into a nuclear explosion. What could possibly go wrong? Bonus fact. If you want the most perfect real-life post-credit scene, Marty's Red Gibson ES345 from the movie is still missing. Yeah, that guitar has vanished, kind of like Einstein's brain. Not the dog, the person. Gibson even launched a public search. The cast put out an appeal, and there's even a documentary project called Lost to the Future. So yeah, one awkward yearbook thought turned into 40+ rejections, Disney clutching pearls, Universal trying to rename the movie like it's a rejected lunchbox brand, a chimp that got fired for logistics, a casting decision based on height, the pettiest villain name in cinema, a scene saved by the people, and a guitar that literally disappeared into the space-time continuum. That is the most Back to the Future thing ever.
Whoa, this is heavy.
If you like this video and want to see more, hit that like and subscribe button, and always stay rad.